Hey! Welcome everybody. It is time once again for the new comic book day rundown from Dark Horse Comics. We are here to show you everything that is new from Dark Horse today. I am Kara. I am the social media coordinator for Dark Horse, and with me today we have
Allison Haller. I am in the digital art department here at Dark Horse.
Which is really cool. So welcome, Allison. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
We have a lot of exciting stuff to talk about today. Remember, if you want to win every item that we talk about today, just share this video. Share it here on Facebook. Make sure that your share is public, and we will check through the winners, pick one at random, and let you know by tomorrow. So check back within about 24 hours to see if you are the lucky winner of a pretty nice haul today.
Very lucky winner.
Yeah. If you have any questions about our comics, please feel free to drop those comments below, and we will answer what we can today or in next week's video. Also, something to note this week, we have a whole bunch of people who are en route to Chicago right now for C2E2. So if you are going to C2E2, come on by, visit our booth number 619. We have some really cool variant covers that are convention exclusives that you can only get at our booth. One of those is XERXES #1 by Frank Miller, but it's a fancy gold foil cover. So it's not this cover, but it's a very fancy limited run. Also, there is a brand new Black Hammer variant, and that is by James Stokoe. It has a bunch of really cute pigs and, you know, your favorite characters from Black Hammer, because Age of Doom is the official continuation of Black Hammer, and that's starting very soon. So if you get that convention exclusive at C2E2, you actually get to read it before it comes out. So that's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Booth 619, come and visit if you're at C2E2.
Yeah.
And now we will just launch right into our digital sales. We have several. It's a big month for digital sales. First, we have a Berserk Mega Bundle. So if you love Berserk, which I know lots of people do, it's one of our most popular mangas. That is on sale. You can get every single issue so far, or volume rather, 38 volumes for only $149.99. That's all on Dark Horse Digital, digital.darkhorse.com, and that is in celebration of 30 years of publishing manga. Dark Horse has been publishing manga for 30 years. So we have a lot more specials and sales coming up this month, and we will talk more about those in a bit.
All right, and our next digital sale, are you tired of this reality? Well, we have an alternate reality digital sale for you, and there's a lot of kit on here. We got some Ether, Mind Management, there's Black Hammer by Jeff Lemire, Tales like Sundowners and the Tomorrows, and everything is 99 cents for single issues. What should I say? Browse, have fun, get in a new reality, get out of this one.
There's some pretty cool sci-fi comics on there, so check that out. Also, we do have one more manga sale. This one is a big, broad manga sale. It includes titles like Berserk, if you just want to pick out specific volumes, also Blade of the Immortal, Lone Wolf and Cub, newer manga too, so check that out. Again, digital.darkhorse.com. We'll drop links to all of these sales in the comments below when we're done here. And so that's it for the digital sales. We now will move on to our first product.
Yeah, new product, Game of Thrones buttons, each one with a sigil from a house. So you can pick what your favorite is.
Yeah.
Of course, all from the hit HBO show.
Based on the books, of course.
Game of Thrones. And what's your favorite sigil?
I mean, art-wise, I gotta say that I love the Kraken. I mean, who doesn't love the Greyjoy Kraken? It's pretty sweet, but
really nicely designed.
I would not really like to be a Greyjoy or live on their terribly harsh islands. So here I have House Stark's family sigil, of course, the wolf. You know, they're very loyal.
Yes.
You know, you gotta hand it to the Starks, right?
Big old wolf?
They're noble and loyal, and they have pretty awesome dire wolves.
Yeah.
So here is House Stark. That will be available among all of these. What about you?
Well, you know, now that I'm thinking about wolves, I'm like ElfQuest, and I'm a fan of that. I should have picked that. But
that's okay. We can both be House Stark.
Yeah. I also do love dragons, so I would pick Targaryen.
Yeah.
I was thinking about going controversial and doing maybe the Flayed Man.
I still wish it was pink, like it is in the books.
That would be a really nice touch.
That's okay, I guess. So all of these are available at comic shops today. They are $2.99 each. They are sold individually. If the comic shop doesn't have the one that you want, just let them know. They can order it. And I'm told that there will be more pins coming in the future that will be available in sets. So when we have more info on that, we'll put those on our website too, of course. But for now, these are all available singly, $2.99 each. And with that, I'm going to get into the comics because we got a really big release today. Right now, I am showing you the full cover spread of Frank Miller's
Blown away.
XERXES #1.
Sorry.
We were so excited about it that we almost threw the camera. But, so this is, again, XERXES #1. It actually has a much longer title, XERXES, The Fall of the House of Darius and the Rise of Alexander. So this is actually going to span quite a bit of time. It's a prequel, essentially, to 300. Here's the interior logotype. This is all, of course, drawn, illustrated, written by Frank Miller himself. And it's colored by his friend Alex Sinclair, who also colored some of Miller's Dark Knight works. This particular issue begins in 499 BC, which is quite a ways before some of these historical figures that are mentioned in the title come into being. But so this is detailing early days of the first Persian invasion of Greece. Of course, this is historical fiction. This is Frank Miller's kind of interpretation of what has become almost a legend, but it's based in historical fact. Ultimately, we're seeing this through the eyes of one of the Athenian citizens who is kind of pressed into becoming a soldier. You'll recognize some more historical figures in here as ultimately we get into the Battle of Marathon. And so that's pretty much what this particular issue covers. And we'll see where it goes from here. But this is in the time of King Darius I. And it's sprinkled throughout with lots of, just kind of soldier humor, giving their captain kind of a hard time.
Losing a helmet.
Losing a helmet, showing off his big muscles, playing with weapons that he confiscates from the battlefield. There's a nice pinup in the back here. So each issue will have a different pinup by a different artist. And again, this is on really nice, heavy stock. Allison was just telling me that in digital art, they received the original pieces from Frank to scan.
Yes, they're on giant sheets of paper. And basically you have to be scanned in like 4 or more sets and then pieced back together. But it's so awesome seeing the art come in because everyone kind of gathers around because it's Frank Miller and it's just these giant boards covered in ink.
Before they're colored.
Yeah,
so
before they're colored.
The original black and white.
This is actually the first I've seen it colored, so it's pretty cool.
It's really different. I mean, it's just different. That's all it is. But I love Frank Miller's originals too, so it'll be cool to get to see maybe some of the sketches in the collected edition eventually. This particular spread shows you Themistocles, who is the leader of the Athenians in this particular battle. So I can't recommend this enough. It's, I think, really well done. Fans of Frank Miller will hopefully be glad to have him back. So that is available today. That's a big deal. Go check it out.
Yeah. Next up, Dr. Starr in the Kingdom of the Lost Tomorrows, #2. Astral crime fighter Dr. Starr discovers a sprawling alien city that desperately needs his help to defend itself against the powerful intergalactic space monster. But he realizes too late that helping these aliens will cost him dearly back home. Gorgeous art by Matt Femora, written by Jeff Lemire, colored by Dave Stewart, lettered by Nate Picos. This series directly ties into Eisner Award-winning the Black Hammer comic series. It's also got a variant cover by J.G. Jones.
I love Max Femar's art for this series. It's so fantastic.
Cool.
He does a great job with the kind of
I love this
look of Dr. Starr.
Yeah.
Dr. Starr, gonna get you.
You don't have to have read the rest of Black Hammer to understand this or appreciate it. Each one of these miniseries, like Sherlock Frankenstein, stands on its own too. It's kind of sad and touching, but it's really, really, really good. I love Dr. Starr.
Yeah.
So definitely all of these today are pretty big releases, including up next, Cachet the Deathless. This is issue #4 of 6. This particular series by Mike Mignola, who also did this cover here, It's fantastic. It's Kashe telling his tragic tale to Hellboy as they sit together in hell. Illustrated by Ben Stenbeck and colored, of course, by Dave Stewart. This series is just beautiful. It's haunting. Kashe's life has been steeped in magic and myth and betrayals, and it's just a fascinating story. I'll show you an interior here. In this particular issue, after an encounter at a witch's sabbath leads Kashe down a road of betrayal, in his revenge, he comes face to face with the enemy that he least expects. And I'm not going to spoil it for you, but this issue is it's pretty climactic, and I think the next couple of issues are really going to get into some fun battles with the Baba Yaga. So this again is from Mike Mignola, Kashe the Deathless, number 4. Who, yes, we've had some nicknames for him around here.
Yeah,
Cookie.
we get to, when we didn't know how to pronounce his name way back, we were calling him Cookie the Deathless upstairs. But I hear you have your own names.
Yes, that should be pretty close to the actual mythological figure. So,
Cookie.
but have some fun.
All right, so next up we have Incognito Renaissance, number 3. The prequel to the acclaimed graphic novel Incognito continues this week by Matt Johnson and Warren Pleece, edited by Karen Berger for Berger Books. At Harlem's Cotton Club, the hottest scene in 1920s New York, Harlem's club reporter, I can't open it, Zane Pinchback, is on the hunt to find femme fatale who left him for dead in the streets. To solve a murder, Zane must go incognito, using his light appearance to enter this whites patron-only club and find the true killer.
That's also
Some
on
more
like nicer, heavier stock.
Right.
It can be a little harder to open. Which I noticed about these particular issues.
Pages were kind of
when you get these at home, sometimes the paper is so heavy the pages might actually stick together a bit. So make sure you're actually turning from page to page.
Are you gonna miss something
Yeah,
important?
I accidentally skipped ahead a couple times on XERXES myself, and then I was like, wait. So you're really seeing this. This is really real, everyone out there. It's actually here. I mean, you might be. I don't know.
Well, to each his own.
You know. Reefer Madness is here at last. Degradation, crime, madness. Hysteria surrounded marijuana as a perceived gateway drug from the 1930s onward. Adventure comics by Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster, and works by Frank Frazetta, Jerry Robinson, Jack Kirby, and many more reveal the social reaction to this era of reefer madness. You may have also seen the documentary of the same name, of course. This is a collection by Craig Yo of some of the famous, kind of amazing, ridiculous, paranoid comics of times gone by that lament the impact of weed on youth culture.
Misery.
This right here is one of my favorite spreads. But literally everything in this book is pretty amazing.
Satan's lettuce.
Satan's lettuce. I mean, of course it is. And you saw all these little taglines over here.
Lucifer's fingers.
Yes. Women cry for it. Men die for it. So good.
Shame, horror, and despair.
There's all kinds of good stuff in here. So get this. There's a lot more where that came from. Fabulous collection, available in comic shops today and in bookstores in about 2 weeks.
No, you're dope fiend.
It's really good.
Do you know you're a dope fiend? I can help you.
read the whole thing in that voice.
Misery.
That's my advice.
Satan's lettuce fingers. I think I came up with my own.
I think you did.
Alright, so Life Between Panels is next up, the complete Tales Omnibus. In this blend of autobiography and fantasy, a cartoonist records his life in New York City, his job, his creative career, his friends, and his herd of cats. and a runaway comic strip come to life. Ethan's life as one of the many cartoonists living in New York City might look mundane at first glance, living with his parents, working a day job, playing with cats, but things get crazy when he starts to draw his comic strip, Crusader Cat. Soon, Ethan can't tell the difference between real life and the comic panel.
But he really is that ripped.
Yeah.
In real life.
We love Ethan.
An artist
IRL.
rendering portrait. Yep. Atomically correct.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Semi-autobiographical webcomic by Ethan Young, the acclaimed writer and artist of Nanjing, The Burning City, and The Battles of Bridget Lee graphic novel series.
Look at those cats.
Ethan's awesome. He's going to be at Chicago 2 for C2E2.
Yeah.
Ethan, if you're watching this, please post some pictures of your cats. You also have a really cute kid. Maybe your kid and your cats. I don't know.
Anyone who wants to send us pictures of cats.
Yes. That's always
It's always welcome.
Always welcome. We love to see your pets. So yeah, go see Ethan at C2E2 if you're there. We also, in the last but not least of today's new releases, have Angel Season 11 Volume 3 Dark Reflections trade paperback. This cover art is, as usual, by Scott Fisher, who has provided some really brilliant art for lots of these Angel collections. This is written by Corinna Bechko and art by Geraldo Borges, colored by Michelle Madsen. So this collects Season 11, numbers 9 through 12. During this season, there has been a lot of time traveling. On a time-traveling mission to prevent an impending disaster, Angel is confronted by the opportunity to challenge his own existence in this concluding arc. Will his companions be able to convince him that changing the past is not, after all, a good idea? Or will he finally find the key in the past to the shadow over his present? I don't know. You'll have to read and find out.
It's deep.
Right? Yeah. So that is all that we have today. There's some big titles. Got some Reefer Madness. It's really here. If you would like to win everything, including this entire set of Game of Thrones house sigil buttons.
You can be in any house you want.
Yeah, you can be in all the houses.
Go from house to house.
Wear them all at once, actually, like Ramblin' Rod style, and send us a picture. That would be awesome.
Maybe all on the back of your jacket.
Yeah, like decorate.
Yeah.
Have an open house.
Flash.
Yeah.
Any more house puns, people?
You can drop
I'll
those,
leave that up to you.
drop those in the comments as well, house puns. We actually have some more cool stuff about houses coming up for you on social media today, so stay tuned for that. And just remember, if you want to win it all, share this video.
Yep.
Just share this video, make it public.
It's all yours.
And you could be the proud owner of every single house button and all these comics. And that's all we got for you.
Yeah.
Thank you, and we'll see you next week.
All right. Bye.